welcome back. Today is Wednesday and I decided that make our Wednesdays our book day so that every week I'm going to read a new book, and after that on Wednesday of that week I'm going to record a video about that book and introduce that book to you guys, so that if you like that book you go and buy it and read it, because I believe that the more we learn, the more we can earn, because learning new things will give us some kind of power and will help us see the world in a better way. So I'm going to read a book per week and record a video about that book on Wednesdays and share it with you so that you know that book, and if you liked it, you read it. The first book that I want to talk about is The 1% Rule by Tommy Baker. Well, this book was one of the best books that I've read in my life because it is so realistic. It is just like Darren Hardy's best-selling book, The Compound Effect. It talks about the real process that will take you to success. Well, most people, when want to talk about success, and I'm just like most people, we think that success happens overnight. And you know, the successful people are successful because of mostly external factors. For example, because of their parents, because of their environment, because of their, government, because of their society, because of their perfect timing, and a lot of other things. But that's not true. In this book, Tommy Baker describes that those beliefs are just myths and they are not true. And just because people believe those myths, they don't act, they don't, take action. And because of that, they always wait for the perfect time and they always wait for the perfect situations. And so they always live an ordinary and even below ordinary life. Well, most people, I know this feeling, most people believe that, well, right now is not the right time to start. I will start later because I don't, feel that I don't have a feeling to start. And they wait and they procrastinate. And when you ask them, why do you wait? And what are you waiting for? They say that, well, I think it's not the right time. I'm waiting for perfect time to start. And Tommy in this book describes perfect timing in a very, very perfect way. Let me read it. Let me find it. Okay. Oh yes, it's here. Tommy says that the 1% rule obliterates this myth of perfect timing and instead creates the perfect timing. Since perfect timing is an illusion, then today is the only time, hence it's perfect. So it's right. Today is the only time that we have. We have no idea about tomorrow. We have no idea about 1 second, 1 minute, 1 hour later. So what we will get if we wait, we don't know. We have no idea. And the more we wait, the longer it will take for us to be successful. Because the process of becoming successful is a process that we need to go through. And it doesn't have any shortcuts. If there were some kind of shortcuts, believe me, everybody will take that shortcut and use it and become successful. But there is no such a thing. So we need to go through this process. And because of that, the sooner we start, the sooner we will end. The sooner we start and apply and take action and go through that process, the sooner we will achieve our goals. And the more we procrastinate, the more we wait for perfect timing, the longer it will take for us to be successful. And I believe that a lot of people, maybe billions of people, died with that illusion. And they died waiting for the perfect time to start. And, they never got the chance to start because they procrastinated. They waited for the perfect time. And their life ended up desperately because they didn't use their life. We only have one chance to live. There is no guarantee that we will have the chance to live again. So why we are waiting, and what are we waiting for? Right now is the perfect time to start. So our goal is to earn $1 million in 1 year. And that 1 year started 9 days ago. I'm not going to lose just 1 day of this period, because this period is the most essential process that I need to go through in order to earn that $1 million. And I had this plan since about 5 years ago. I procrastinated and nothing happened. I was waiting for some kind of miracle. I was waiting for another person to come to me and say, "Oh, Hamed, I think you have a plan and you want to be successful. I came to help you." And I really thought about that. I was thinking that some days it will happen, but it never happened. And I believe that if I wait, if I procrastinate again, it will never happen. Because it's an illusion. It's not reality. The reality is this process. So we need to go through this process and we need to accept it. That's the first thing that Tommy describes in this book, and I highly recommend you to read this book. That's the first thing. The second thing that I want to talk about is the steps that Tommy describes to, cultivate the 1% rule. He says that in order to cultivate this rule, we need to take 5 steps, 5 essential steps. And I'm going to talk about the first step because it's about the process. Tommy says that if you want to be successful, you need to first fall in love with the process. A perfect description, isn't it? Fall in love with the process. And he describes that without this foundational principle, without falling in love with the process, we'll just crumble. Inherently, the process involves challenging moments, breakthroughs, and everything in between. If we expect these things to happen, they won't divert us, and we'll keep sharpening our sword every single day. Well, one of the problems that we always have when we want to think about success is that we think success is so sweet, and we just imagine our life after becoming successful. And that's okay, that's the vision part of every success journey. But that's just one part. The huge part, the process that will take us to that sweet part, is not that sweet. And we need to know that. And we need to be aware of that. We need to know that, okay, if we want to experience that sweet part, we need to go through this part, the process part, which is not that sweet. And we need to fall in love with that part. We need to fall in love with challenges. We need to accept those challenges. We need to embrace those challenges. We need to embrace those hardships. And as the old saying goes like, you need to enjoy the journey, not the destination. And those people who are successful, I've read the story of a lot of successful people, and all of them say the same things. We are enjoying what we do, and we are not just thinking about the end, the goal, the destination. We are enjoying the journey. So we need to do the same thing. The process of becoming successful is full of challenges, full of hardships, and we need to fall in love with that. What do you think about me? Do you think that this is a guy who loves talking and who go, in front of the camera and talks? You think I'm that kind of person? No, I love, traveling. I love to go out and discover the world. But I have a goal. And this process of recording these videos is the part of my journey. If I want to experience that sweet part, I need to embrace this hardship. I need to embrace this process, and I do that. I love this process. I love doing these things, because if I don't love, let me tell you by your perspective, if you don't love and if you don't enjoy the things that you are doing right now, you can't be successful. Period. It's impossible. So you need to do what you love, and you need to fall in love with all the hardships and challenges that you face in your day-to-day life towards your success. So this was a very important point that Tommy talks about it. The next thing that I want to talk about is something that I really loved. It's about deep work and the power of focus. You know, as I shared in the previous videos, I used to open my browser. My email was open in one tab, my YouTube channel in another tab, my social medias, and a lot of other things that were open. And when I wanted to do something, for example, when I wanted to write an article, I used to go to my email, check it in every 5 to 10 minutes, or go to social media and check it. And you know, those things killed my productivity. Because at the end of the day, I thought that, okay, I worked 12 hours today. But that wasn't the reality. The reality was that I worked just for 1 hour, and I wasted 11 hours of my day on social media because I was an internet addicted asshole. And right now, I say it with, with a sense of pride, because right now I decided to leave and overcome that addiction. And right now that I'm recording this video, I'm just thinking about this video. I just focus, and I want to connect with you, because I don't want to think about my YouTube channel. I don't want to think about my social media. I don't want to think about anything else. I am right now disconnected from all the world, and I'm right now doing what I have to do, what I want to do, and what I love to do. And I want you to do the same thing. I want you to focus on what you want to do, because when you focus, you will enjoy what you are doing. This is so important. So I'm going to work on this, because I have some problems. I still have some problems in this area, and when I, for example, write my articles or write my books, I still think, part of my mind thinks about my social media, but I'm going to overcome it, and I recommend you to do the same things. So that was another important part. And the next thing that I want to talk about is, yes, momentum and consistency. As I said before, if you want to be successful, you need to have momentum. Momentum means you start something and then add up a little bit to that thing every day, and you don't stop. Start, add a little bit every day, and go on. That is momentum, and that brings success. The consistency that you add to your work, guess what happens when you do that? You become the master of your work. Let's say that you do, let's say, painting, okay? What if you do 1 hour painting per day? What if you practice it on a consistent basis? What will happen after 5 years? What will happen after 1 year? You have practiced 365 hours, which means you are a master, and you can create a masterpiece. So that's the power of momentum, and that's the power of consistency. I want to share with you a famous quote from Bruce Lee. He once said that, "I'm not afraid of the people who practice 10,000 different kicks just once, but I'm afraid of that person who practiced just one kick 10,000 times." And that's the power of consistency. When you do something over and over and over again on a consistent basis, you become the master of that thing. And everybody respects you and come to you to learn from you. So let's do that. Let's add momentum and consistency to our work. I'm going to add that to my plan as well. I'm going to add, some kind of momentum and a lot of consistency to my work, to my plan, so that after 1 year, I can achieve my goal. And I know that without consistency, without momentum, it's impossible for me to earn $1,000. Let go of $1 million. Without consistency, I can't earn just $1. So if I want to earn, in fact, $1 or $1 million, I need to add consistency. And I need to do the things that I need to do on a consistent basis. And another thing that I want to talk about is, let me find it. Yes, I find it. Reverse engineer your success. Tommy describes that when you have a goal, that goal must be huge. And that's the part of being successful, because if you want to be successful, you have to dream big. But the problem with big dreams is that it is big, and achieving big things is so far. It's not tangible. And because of that, our mind just loses its motivation to go towards that dream. And the thing that we need to do is to break down our dream into measurable and small parts. For example, my goal is a 1-year goal, and I need to do a lot of things. But it's impossible to do a lot of things at once. So what I need to do is simple. I need to break down my goal and my timeline into small parts. For example, I need to break 1 year into quarter parts. So I have 4 months or 3 months. Or I need to break down into 12 parts 1 month. Or I need to break my goal into 51 weeks. And finally, I need to break down my goal into daily steps, so that I have 365 small and tangible and achievable steps, which is so simple and easy for me to achieve those things. Because when I think about achieving my goal and earning $1 million, my mind thinks that, what the fuck are you talking about? We are, zero. We are in bankruptcy. And you're talking about $1 million? Oh, what the fuck is going on? But when I divide my dream into small parts, and when I say that, okay, my first goal is to earn $100, then $1,000, then $10,000, $50, $100, $200, and eventually $1 million, that is tangible for my mind, and that is tangible for myself, so that I can, motivate myself. Because when I have small steps, when I have small goals, and when I achieve those small goals, guess what happens? I feel progress. And the feeling progress, as Tommy says, is the most motivating thing in the world. So when we break down our goals into small parts and we achieve those small goals, we are getting energy, we are getting courageous about our goal, and we are getting motivated about our goal, because we feel that, okay, I'm one step closer to my goal and I can achieve it. So it's very, very important for us to break down our dreams, our goals into small and tangible steps, and try to, achieve those small goals. And eventually, after a while, after we add momentum and consistency, we will achieve the huge and the big dream that we always have in our mind. This was the summary of Tommy Baker's The 1% Rule. I highly recommend you to read this book, because there are a lot of other things that are beneficial and are good for everybody to know about real success. So if you can, just order it and read it. I'm going to share a link below this video so that you can buy it. You can go directly to Amazon.com and buy from it. But again, I highly recommend you to read this book. This book was one of the best books that I've ever read. Next week, I'm going to introduce another great book, which I'm currently reading. I started reading it today, and I'm going to talk about it next Wednesday. And it is a book which is about leadership. As I said before, I have a lot of problems in this area because I can't lead other people, I can't manage them, I don't know how to do that. That's not something that I can do. But I always wanted to be a good leader because I'm planning to, start my own company. And if I can't manage, if I can't lead, it's impossible for me to be successful. So I'm going to read that book and I'm going to summarize it for you next week. So until next week, stay tuned.